Joan Laporta there in the stands watching, and I don't think he'll be very happy with this result. Barcelona going in as heavy favorites. They've had some wobbly comebacks in their last two LaLiga games, but today there was no comeback to be in the Spanish capital. Well, at this point, let's welcome in a former Rayo Vallecano player, Mario Suarez, who's joining us. But first, let's start here in studio. Craig, you and I have been watching this game all day, and a draw. As you said, you were looking at Barcelona in that second half, in those dying minutes, and they were hanging by a thread, which is something that we didn't really expect.
I thought Rayo Vallecano, bearing in mind that their record transfer, I think, is $8 million. Very small budget, small club. I thought they were absolutely brilliant today. The energy that they put into that game. The quality of their passing was as good, if not better, than Barcelona's. They handled the conditions better. They handled the pitch was terrible. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. Sid Lowe touched on it before. It was unacceptable for a game of this standard in this league, let's be honest about it. But the game was played at 100 miles an hour, and Rayo Vallecano can think themselves extremely unlucky they haven't taken 3 points. They had the penalty that was not a penalty, could not be checked, that was given against them because VAR wasn't working. That should be an inquest straight away, why that wasn't working, again at this level. And secondly, Garcia, the Barcelona goalkeeper, made save after save after save, particularly in the second half. And if Hansi Flick, who made 3 changes to his back four today, was looking for answers from his first couple of games with the defensive issues, particularly the Levante game, if he was looking for answers, he did not get them. He got more questions today about that back line because Rayo Vallecano ripped it open time after time after time. And we talked about it before the game. They had one of the smaller teams in Spain that like to play football. Right? They don't like to just sit in and try and defend. They like to come out, they like to press, they like to play balls in behind. And they were very, very good at that today. And I think Barca, through some bad officiating, some technical issues, and some really good goalkeeping, got a point. Basically got a point because they did not deserve that in the end.
Interesting to hear that, Mario. Let's go to you because, as Craig said, that Barcelona probably didn't deserve the points in the end. This is your former team, and even when I asked you for predictions, you were going with the favourites, Barcelona, to get a win, but your ex-club managed to hold them off.
Yes, I also told you, Alexis, that it was going to be a tough match for Barcelona, and it was. They played well in the first half, but in the second half they didn't shot on target. No shots on target for Barcelona. Rayo Vallecano players, it's true that they are more used to the pitch. They are training now for 2 weeks there in the stadium every day. They already played one match the other day, midweek, and they play much better in the second half. They deserve the win, but Joan Garcia did an amazing match. Barcelona suffered a lot with long balls. The back line, as Craig said, Hansi Flick is not happy with the performance of the back four today, and he's still looking for this line, these 4 players to compete, to play there because they miss a lot now Íñigo Martínez. I think they miss today also Pau Cubarsí, and let's see what happens, but I think we saw a really good match from Rayo Vallecano and not so good from Barcelona.
Rayo Vallecano did today better than the likes of Bayern Munich and others. Last year, we were sitting scratching our heads going, why are they not playing the ball in behind early? Why are they not getting runners from a little deeper? The striker doesn't need to bend his run in there. The striker can come out, the front men can come out with the line, and you can get runners from deep with balls in behind. We sat all season last year going, is some of these better clubs, better teams not going to figure this out? And most of them did not. Rayo Vallecano actually broke this back line down better than most did last season. And again, it's something Hansi Flick is not going to change. He's crystal clear on that, right? And it did get them some pretty good success last year. OK, the Inter game, they got caught out. You'll have to look at that. But in terms of partnerships, Íñigo Martínez is gone. Cubarsí has formed a partnership with Araujo at the start of the season. That hasn't gone too well. And I can tell you now, the Christensen and Eric Garcia one tonight was all over the place.
You have to look at him and say that he's actually put that back line in a position to fail. Because the way that it does play, there's a lot of gambling going on with that high line. And so when you make so many changes and you just throw people in together, you really shouldn't be surprised when they're not quite on the same page. So I think Hansi Flick has put them in a position where they were going to fail.
And I think also, and I might be wrong here, but the new goalkeeper in from Espanyol, he looks as if he's more reluctant to play the sweeper-keeper role. And even Wojciech Szczesny, coming off the beach last year, as a retired... Well, he did. He was a retired goalkeeper, having a pina colada, and he got a phone call. Come and play, because Ter Stegen was out injured with a serious injury. But even he was prepared to play on the edge of his box and come out. I was watching this guy today, and it wasn't really his fault, but maybe he's not used to that, coming from where he's came from, and so he's maybe going to have to alter his position a little bit, bearing in mind the gambles that Barcelona take. So if he's a little bit too deep and they're really squeezing up, then he's not going to be able to get to the ball that's in behind unless it's overhit. So all these little things Hansi Flick is going to have to try and iron out.
Yeah, Mario, as Craig pointed out last season, look, it's no secret that I suppose defensively that could be the Achilles heel for Barcelona, but they got away with it more often than not last season. But right now it seems like Hansi Flick needs to adjust that really quickly, or this could be the reason that they don't win all the titles they won last season.
Yes, because last year nobody knows in Spain the way Hansi Flick plays or the way he wants to play with that defensive line. This year is one more year of knowledge from the other teams, from the way you can attack. And I can assure you, I know this coach, Inigo Perez, I know these players. The way they play today with the long balls, it was worked during all the week, because every time the opponent team passed the ball back, the defensive lines push and push and press. And when you have a goalkeeper like Batalla, have good feet, the defenders playing a long ball, and you have the wingers fasters like Álvaro García, Isi, they suffer. They suffer because it's amazing all the risks they take, this defensive line. It's not easy to play there. I retired playing as a defender, and I don't want to play like this. I will suffer a lot. So, and also we can talk about the substitutions Hansi Flick did. I think when he take out Rafinha and Dani Olmo, Fermin and Marcus Rashford didn't bring all the energy Hansi Flick wants, and they start suffering there. They didn't create chances. As I said before, they didn't shot on target in the second half. Well, I think they are not in the best moment, but they have time now to rest and to work on that.
How can you have a game, though, at this level these days when VAR wasn't working?
Yeah.
And then it was in the second half. I mean, I know we have technical issues, no matter where we are, but they have to be resolved. Everybody has to be on the same playing field here. So that's frustrating. Quite frankly, it's embarrassing, really. So I don't know who's accountable for that scenario, but clearly the big controversy in the game was the penalty kick just before half-time. That at the time, Adrian Healy and Casey Keller in the commentary were a little flummoxed about why the referee wasn't going to the monitor to have a look at it at least, and then word got out that the VAR wasn't operational at the ground. And I think it's pretty crystal clear, even though it looks like pretty bad from there. He throws himself over, watch. He initiates the contact. The defender's trying to get out of the way here. He does nothing wrong. He actually kicks him.
There's nothing about that that's got a penalty. The defender, absolutely, as you said, does not go to challenge Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal is the one that creates the coming together. So, had VAR been working, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have been given.
But I tell you what, as well, what we've seen earlier. I mean, Atleti have had a bad start to the season. So if we're taking the 3 title contenders, we believe will be the 3 as per usual, unless somebody else comes on the outside, and I doubt that's going to happen. Is they've had a bad start. Real Madrid have got their victories, but there's been a few questions there. And the team that have been the favourites to win the league, although I think 1 or 2 bookies had Real Madrid, I don't know why, but certainly the team that have been the team to beat because they were the best in Spain by far last year. It's been far from a smooth transition into the new season.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the same players. There's 1 or 2 changes. Obviously, the goalkeeping position's changed. One of the centre-half positions is going to change because of Martinez, I think, going to Saudi Arabia. But it's not been as smooth as I thought. It just seems a bit clunky from Barcelona. Even the Levante game, 2-0 down and all over the place at the start of the game. And again, tonight in this game, they were carved open time and time and time again. And be it a bad pitch or a bad final ball or a bad finish, whichever it was for Rayo Vallecano, that's kind of what saved Barcelona tonight.
Yeah.
Wasn't their great play. It was the fact that their goalkeeper stepped up and some of the finishing, because I think, as Stevie mentioned in a couple of the highlights, the ball was really bobbling up off this horrendous surface, and it made it a bit more difficult for the players. That apart, that's the only reason Barcelona go back home with a point.
Yeah, Mario, and I mean, we saw the images from Íñigo Pérez, who was absolutely furious when that penalty was called, because if you take that penalty away, as Craig said, we're looking at probably 3 points for Rayo Vallecano.
Yes, and I'm surprised that they allowed to play this match, because we are playing with different rules than the other teams this weekend, for example, you know, and it was clear that something is going to happen. So also when the referee talked to the coaches, maybe they can stop the match or wait until the VAR is ready, because as I said, you are playing this weekend with different rules, and without VAR, this can happen and happens today. So I think they will have to take solutions, because this is not it's not normal in one competition like LaLiga. In 2025, this is impossible to happen again.
I think I would have thought normal protocol would have been, and we don't like delayed kickoffs, because we all have to stay a bit later, you know what I mean? Everybody's not just the players, not just the fans. We don't want delayed kickoffs, but I would have thought some sort of protocol would be in place where until they sort the technical issues out, you can't kick the match off. Maybe things are different in Spain. I think that's probably what happened in England. If there's an issue in England, they'll stop the game until they get the technical issues fixed, and then they restart the game. It's very, very frustrating, but it is for the reasons that Mario mentioned, is to keep it as a level playing field across the whole league for the whole season, as everybody is afforded the chance of a VAR review on big decisions, which Rayo Vallecano didn't get. And then it's ironic, I think it was 20 minutes to go, the damn thing started working. So, I mean, but that apart, I thought it was a great game, very entertaining, as we thought it would be. But for Barcelona, as the team that were head and shoulders above everybody last year in Spain, I think there's a lot of questions there again this year.
Yeah, well, Mario promised us a fun and entertaining game. That's exactly what we had. We had a VAR failure, we had fan protests, we had a really dodgy pitch, and in the end, Barcelona and Rayo Vallecano had to dodgy penalty as well. Are you not entertained? Mario Suarez, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch up with you again soon.